hope you're having a great morning or afternoon and evening. Depends what time you're watching this video. So today I'm going to be taking you guys on a tour of my Schleich stables, and because it's December, it's going to be all set up for winter and Christmas, so I'm really excited to show you the new decorations and layouts that I've got. Before I start the tour, make sure and head on down below and click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my winter videos. Okay, I'm really excited. Let's get started with the video. Okay everyone, I'm going to start with my main barn first. So welcome. I think I'm going to do this side first. So over on the left hand side is a big sign welcoming new people to the stables, and either side of it is two glittery baubles. I love those baubles, they're very glittery and I just love them. And there's also a string of fairy lights, they're stars I think, going across the main barn. And below the sign is some gate, a bit of fencing, and it's buried in snow right now. And there's also a mini Christmas tree. And there's a doorbell that rings a bell inside the tack room. On the right hand side, this fairy lights carry across obviously, and there is another sign saying what you can do at this barn, and it's just a list of things really. And either side of that sign is some more mini baubles, and also on this side they have some horse posters and just two signs, one that says no smoking and one that says horses have right of way. And below the sign, of course, is some gate, some snow and a mini Christmas tree. In between the two sides is a lovely gate. I love the gate, and it's got two red ribbons on either side of it, and this wreath. I love the wreath. I crocheted it with my mum and it took forever, but it looks really good. And there's also a very smart looking horseshoe on the sign, if my phone will focus. Yeah, there we go. It's very nice. So that is it for the front of the barn. We're going to head on inside now. Okay, welcome to the inside of the main barn. It's looking very Christmassy. I'm going to start with the tack room first on the left here, so I can do the stables all together in one lump. So on the back wall in the tack room, we just have some bridles that aren't being used, and an empty saddle rack, and a very nice red kind of brown saddle. And on the left wall, well, coming to the left of that, there's a poster. Not really sure what it is, but it looks very nice. So that's just there. And there's some bridles that are not being used, a head collar, lots of head collars, and I think there might be a martingale in there, I'm not really sure. There's a weird sort of rainbow statue, and two more saddles. And also on this wall is the doorbell, that I showed you outside. And down here on the floor is one of our barn dogs, and his name is Chip, and he's a mini schnauzer, and he's just playing with his little teddy on the floor. They're very cute. Also along the top here, I almost forgot, is a string of fairy lights, and they go all the way down to the end of the barn and wrap back around for a bit. So yeah, and I just love these. They don't glow or anything, but they're really shiny and multicoloured. They're really pretty. I love those. So across from the tack room, we have our first horse stall, and in it is Hunter, and he is the retired Tennessee Walker Stallion, and I love him. He's really nice. And out the front of his stable is some red tack and a slightly random Frisian poster, possibly. And he also has a lovely hay net. Diagonally across from Hunter's stable is a Mystery stable, and Mystery is an Arabian mare, and she's got a lovely head collar on that I made her. And on the floor in there is her owner Sarah, and she's just kind of hanging with her lovely horse. There are lots of things outside Mystery's stall. There's her head collar and lead rope, mini Christmas tree, Sarah's phone, a carrot, Sarah's riding hat, 2 presents for Mystery, and like her saddle bag. And it's just kind of all dumped on the floor outside. It's a bit of a mess, but never mind. And also on the divider in Mystery stable is her blanket and her hay net. Across again from Mystery is an empty stable right now, but the horse that usually goes in there is called Trooper. And on the stall divider is his blanket, and he also shares a hay net with Hunter. And out the front of his little stall is his saddlebag, lead rope, and underneath is a present for him and a carrot. And there's also this weird trophy thing on the stable wall. I'm not really sure what it's doing there, to be honest, but the gold looks quite nice with the blue, so it's kind of just sat there. Down one from Trooper's stable is Gucci, and Gucci is the Rocky Mountain mare, and I've just recently got her for my birthday. And she's wearing her lovely pink coat, and she's definitely one of my favourite Schleich horses. She's just so pretty. And she's got a big stable, but she hasn't got a hay net at the moment. And out the front of her stall is a peacock picture. That's very nice. Her head collar and lead rope, a mini Christmas tree, a purple brush, Gucci's present, and an apple. Down again from Gucci is a little pony or foal stable. So right now in it is Cloudy, and he is a tinker foal, and he's currently trying to break into the feed room that's next door. And outside of his little stable is a stack of hay, 2 tiny presents, head collar and lead rope, and some sort of bottle maybe? I'm not really sure what that is. In the feed room, we just have some feed, hay, buckets, some big salt lick things. I'm not really sure what that is. A bunch of hay, I guess. Empty hay net, brush, and also on a hook here is a big pink bow. On the very back wall of the main barn is a lovely horse painting, another mini Christmas tree, some sort of chain, and 2 crates that are just stacked on top of each other. And the stall down from that is Glimmer's stall. And Glimmer is a Lipizzaner mare, and she is wearing a lovely purple head collar that I made the other day. And outside is her bridle, and she has a lovely present for her outside. And in her stable is just an abandoned brush, which is a bit sad, a salt lick, and a big hay net. Down from Glimmer is Katniss, and she is the special tinker mare. I love her very much. She's definitely one of my favourites, and she's wearing a very nice pink blanket. And she shares a hay net with Glimmer or Mystery. She can really take from both of them, to be honest. And out the front of her stable is some lovely yellow tack, and there's also her present and some pony treats for her, which is very exciting. So that is it for the main barn. We're going to continue with our tour now. So if we come to the left of the barn, so directly on the left is the Foals Paddock, and in there right now are 3 little foals. So the first guy here is Tic Tac, and he is a Holsteiner colt. He's wearing a little green blanket, very cute. And behind him is Moana, and she is a Mustang foal. She's wearing a lovely little brown rug. And next to her is Blondie, and he is a Halfling foal, and he's wearing a very Christmassy blanket that has holly all over. They have some nice greenery in their paddock that's melted. And they also have a big hay trough, and Churro is currently trying to steal from it, though we're going to come to him in a minute. Also outside their paddock is a little sled that's just been left there. If you head on down that little alleyway from the Foals Paddock, you will get to this huge Christmas tree that's all been decorated in tinsel and baubles, so it is very ready for Christmas and it looks lovely. If you continue down, you'll get to the show jumping arena that's got some jumps set up in right now. But at the front of it is the sheep, like the stable sheep that just wanders around, and it's currently eating from a sort of fuzzy bush thing. Behind the sheep is some riding crops that you can borrow and a water bucket for the horses. And there's a gate that has the Schleich logo on it. And in the show jumping arena, surprisingly, there are some show jumps set up in kind of a course. And right now in it, there's no riders, but there's a little farm dog. And this is Mrs. McGregor, and she is a black pug. So if you come back out the alleyway, past the Foals Paddock, and turn to the left, you get to a small stables, and it's just 4 stalls big, so it's good for like very young horses or retired horses. So on the front wall outside is the gold starlights that were on the main barn. They run along this wall, along the side wall, across the alleyway, and that's how they join to the main barn. And also on this front wall are snowflakes. I love the snowflakes. They look so nice as a big group. So yeah, they're very Christmassy. I love the snowflakes. Inside we have 5 horses. So in the first stable here is Charlie. He is a custom that I did. He isn't shellac, so I'm not really sure what his breed is. I use him as a riding school horse, but he used to be bright yellow, so he looks so much better now. And in his stable he has some feed, a salt lick, and next to him is his best friend, Churro. And Churro, despite what he looks like, he isn't shellac. He is a copy. He's made to look like the Hanoverian Stallion, I think, done by shellac, but he isn't actually shellac. So I've just got him as an Andalusian Stallion, and he's wearing a lovely neon orange coat. He has some feed like Charlie, and also a salt lick to match his coat. Outside their stalls are 2 cheeky chickens, oh that rhymes, and they're trying to hide from this Dalmatian puppy, Spot, who's trying to chase them. So I think they might be a bit traumatized, but they're fine. Behind Spot is some feed, and yeah, it's just feed. Up on the divider between the 2 sides of the stable is a purple snowman that is very cute. I love the snowman. And also on the divider are some saddles. There's a Western, English, Western, yeah. And there's also some hooks on the walls, and it has a grey head collar and a yellow fly mask. And yeah, they're just not being used right now. And I almost forgot, up on the roof here is OJ, the barn cat, and he's just, walking along. He has a pink collar on, though it's actually a loom band, but we won't tell him that. So back over here on the other side of the little barn, we have a mare and her foal. So the mare is Venus, and she is a thoroughbred, and her little foal is Tempest, and she's a thoroughbred too. And they have a big bucket of water and a salt lick and a mini Christmas tree out the front of their stable. Their neighbour, I guess, is Katie, and she is a quarter horse mare. She's wearing a lovely blue head collar that matches her so well. It looks so nice. She looks like she's just come off the beach. She's got a salt lick, a bucket in there, a poster, and a nice window to look out. And also on this wall is a big feed chart of for the barn, what to feed all the different horses that come in here, sort of thing. And over here is another little poster. To the left of the little barn is the house. Yeah, it's just, I'm not going to go inside the house because this is a barn tour, not a house tour. But outside of it is a lovely bow over the front door and 4 mini Christmas trees, and the windowsills have some snow on them. They used to have more, but it kind of all just fell off, and I couldn't be bothered to put more on. So yeah, basically that's why. To the left of the house is the Stallion's paddock. And along the fence here is some paper chain. It's mini paper chain. I love it so much. And yeah, that looks amazing. And I do know that stallions couldn't go together in real life, but I didn't have enough fence to do separate paddocks for all of them. So, you know, let's just say these guys are friendly or something. So the first horse here is Prince, and he is a Shire horse. Behind him is Zeus, and he is an Andalusian, and he is wearing a lovely blue blanket. It really suits him. I love Zeus. He's one of my favourites. There's some muck on the floor. It's disgusting. And scoffing the hay is Bandit, and he is a Camouflage stallion. And his friend is Ace, and he is a Halfling stallion. So there's a big hay bale in the corner and a water trough that's kind of frozen over. Over here in the back is Rocky, and he is an Appaloosa stallion, and he's got a slightly strange blanket that I made him. And there's also a tree in the back here with some, I don't know, bushes underneath it. And over here, the last horse is Poseidon, and he is an Andalusian stallion, and he's kicking a football like you do. And behind Poseidon is a snowman that I think the horses have refused to go near because he looks quite evil. I mean, he does, to be honest. Yeah, he looks a bit strange. So that is it for the Stallion's paddock. So if we jump over a field, we'll get to the Mares and Yearlings paddock. So the first horse here is Angel, and she is the special Tennessee Walker mare. She has a lovely purple blanket on and is just gazing out into the distance. Behind her are 2 water buckets and some bushes, shrubs, I don't know, they're just there. Over here is Cora, and she is our Frisian mare. She's wearing one of my first attempts at a coat, so I really need to update it. This is supposed to be a sun. The embroidering went slightly wrong, but never mind, the green suits her, so that is what we must focus on. Behind Cora is Autumn, and she is our Appaloosa mare, and she has a pink coat on. Next to her is Boomerang, another one of my favourites, and she is a Tinker mare, and she's wearing a purple coat. Over here are our 2 yearlings. They're eating from a big hay feeder right now. So this one is Pogo, and she's a Tennessee Walker yearling, and this is Bubbles, and Bubbles is a Pinto yearling. Over here we have 2 riders. So this is Lucky, and she's riding Pocahontas, the special Pinto mare. And her friend is Trooper, and he is a quarter horse gelding. And riding Trooper is Jessie, Trooper's owner. And they're both about to head down the gallop track into the stables. And I don't think they're aware, but behind them is Arctic, and he is an Arctic fox, and he's just sneaking up on them. So behind Arctic is the show barn, and this is where some of the privately owned show horses are kept. And outside of it is a lovely brass horse statue that I love very much. And of course, here is the sign that just says what it is. And on the other side, there is a little sign saying this way to the arenas. So if you head on up the snowy ramp, you'll get to the inside of the show barn. The first 4 stalls in here are small, and they're used for temporary stabling of horses. So if you're moving horses about or getting them ready for a lesson or something, you can just put them in here for the time being. And yeah, you just leave them in there for a short amount of time because there's not much room for them to move about. So on the right, we have an empty stable, apart from it has a hay feeder in and some snow that's blown in. And one down is a little colt named Scout, and he is an Andalusian, and he has a hay feeder. And across from him is another empty stable, and it has hay in it. And the one in the corner here is used for storage right now. It has some wheelbarrows in that have kind of fallen over, some feed, and a big stack of hay. Down a stable from Scout is Beauty, his mum, and she is an Andalusian mare too, and she is very pretty, and she's wearing a green coat like Cora was in the paddock, and she has a big hay net in her stable, and there's a lantern on the corner, and there's also a sign just saying privately owned horses and not to feed them. Across from Beauty is Warrior, and he is a quarter horse stallion, and he's just scoffing his hay net right now because he's quite greedy, and he's got a lot of bedding in there, his blanket's resting on a divider, and also a western saddle is just hanging out the front. Down from Warrior is Victory, a thoroughbred stallion who's just hanging out in his stable right now. He's got bedding, a hay net in there, and he's also got a first place ribbon out the front of his stable, along with some posters and stuff. Down from him is Top Thorn, a Frisian stallion, and he's just like posing. He's completely posing. He's looking quite grand. And he's got some trophies out the front of his stable, though they're actually penny presses, but you know, it doesn't matter. They look like trophies. And there's some posters on the back wall there, and he can scoff hay net from either side. And down from him again is Flame, and Flame is a Hanoverian gelding. He's very nice. I love Flame, and he was just eating from a hay net. Sorry, Flame. And he's got some bedding in there and some posters out the front of his stable. So if you head on out of the show barn and turn to the left, there's a track that's behind the mare and yearling paddock, and it heads down to the privately owned show arena, dressage arena, small arena, that sort of thing. So yeah, if we keep heading on down, you'll get to another tree. This one's not decorated, but I love this tree. It's very nice. It's a lovely tree. And below the tree is a mounting block. Over here is a water feeder and some Christmassy coloured trot poles that are just not being used. If you head on through the gate, you'll come to the arena. No one's been in it since it snowed, so it is covered in snow. And in it right now is Patch and Ginger Nut, the two naughty mini Shetland pony foals, and they have escaped and are running through the arena. I don't think anyone's realised that they've escaped, so they're just going to be there for a while, probably. Also, the snow on the floor is fake snow, and it is so satisfying. It feels so soft and nice. It's actually really realistic, and I love it so much. Like, it's just so nice to touch and feel. And it looks quite realistic to fall, to be honest. So it's very satisfying when it's all smooth. To the right of the mini arena, we have two wash stalls and basically an area to tack up. So in the first stall right now is Hades, and he is the retired Frisian stallion. I love him very much. He's very handsome, and he's being tacked up. Maybe for show jumping in the show jumping arena or something like that. And tacking him up is Prue, and I'm not sure what she's doing. Well, she's tacking him up. And there's a grooming kit on the divider between the two stalls. There's a brush, and here's the hose thing. And it's got a Christmas bow around it that is very cute. Here we have a huge chest full of numbness, extra saddle pads, tack cleaning kit, hoof picks, pretty much everything. It's a bit of a mess, I'm not going to go through it, so yeah, that's just in there. And there's also a wheelbarrow. The wash stall down from Hades and Prue is empty and it hasn't been used since it snowed. So there's snow all over it and it's the fake snow again and it looks lovely. And it also has a very nice ribbon around the base of the pipe. So it's all decorated for Christmas. And also out the front of the wash stalls is a Santa Claus holding a Christmas tree, and he has a huge hat and he is very cute with his little nose. And there is a snow-covered tree out the front here. And finally, to the right of the wash stalls, we have the big indoor arena. There's snow out the front of it, and over here are some trot poles, again, that aren't being used. And there's a big water bucket for horses if they get hot. And inside it right now is Abigail, and she's just laying out a jump course for her and her pony, Dartmoor pony, Stallion Fudge. Okay guys, that's it for the barn tour, but I will give you a quick overview of the stables so you can see everything joined together. Okay everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this Christmas and winter barn tour for 2019. And of course, if you did, leave a like down below and make sure to subscribe to my Schleich YouTube channel to not miss any of my Christmas uploads. Okay, I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas and winter, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone!